Good morning. How are you today? Well, it's icy cold here, and I've gone to almost the warmest clothes I can put on. And tomorrow we're going to have snow on Sunday. I don't know, they're saying 5 to 8 inches. I guess I thought we'd get out of January without snow. Not going to happen. I think the headline increasingly on the Hill is, are we going to have a stimulus package? And I have heard some Democrats criticizing the failure to act. Well, you know, Biden took office on the 20th. So what are we, 9 days into his administration? And he's given the Republicans every opportunity to cooperate. And Schumer has only taken over the Senate in the last few days. And already the talk is we are going to pass this stimulus bill, even if we have to go to reconciliation, that is, between the two houses of Congress to reconcile the bill. And that speaks a lot to me, because if you remember, the Democrats had a bill in May of last year that they sent over for stimulus, and Mitch McConnell just sat on it. And so I hear some Democrats saying we should be moving more quickly. Well, yes, it would be nice if we had moved more quickly in May, June, any time before the last couple of days when Schumer has been put in charge of the Senate. Now, it is true, day by day, people are suffering because of the Republicans, not because of the Democrats. And I'm prepared to be critical of my my party, the party I've subscribed to my whole life, but with a right to healthy disagreement. But I think on this, they're serious. They're going to move forward. I don't think there's a hidden agenda. And the Republicans are responsible for each and every day. Every person goes without food, without a job, without support, without small businesses, without money to the local governments to get out the vaccine. So I feel very strongly about that. And I think in the days ahead, we'll see some good things. I don't know, the Republicans I don't think will come along. And what this underscores is how important was that Georgia win. Without that Georgia win, imagine the people who'd be suffering. And we already see that in every way possible, Biden is using the executive powers he has to get those vaccines out. So I think that it's so refreshing that we actually have a government, and that my first topic doesn't mention he who was and is no more, at least in my mind, but he still has an influence. Which takes me to the second part, separate and apart from he who was and is ensconced down in Florida, where I hope his neighbors will cause him to be evicted. We had the minority leader in the House go down and pay him obeisance, supporting the notion that I guess the autocrats and their agenda should be in place rather than the Democrats' democracy should be in place. And there's a large segment of the Republican caucus in the House that is the enemy within. And we have two really good examples of really bad actors here. One is Matt Gaetz from Florida, who went off to attack Cheney in her home district. And, you know, we don't have any love for her ideological purity, but the foundation question about who should be our president and should we have merely gone through the pro forma march of just approving Biden for president, that's unassailable. And anybody who is assailing it, including that madman Gaetz, is a person who is against democracy. They're the Tories and we're the Whigs. We're at the same place we were in colonial times. Then we also have Ms. Green, QAnon supporter, and talking about, you know, this one should die and that one should be killed and so forth. And people are calling for her eviction from the House, which I believe is absolutely true for her and anyone else who opposed the pro forma count, who objected and gave aid and comfort to those who would attack our government. And in my own experience, I've had a few threats over time, and mostly you can discount them. But a couple of times they seemed more serious. And one of them was on a Facebook thing. And there were two issues at the time I was fooling around with. One was sensible gun safety. And the other one was removing a Confederate statue from the main square in the nearby town of Leesburg. And this guy said something threatening. What I did was I called up the police, which is unusual for me, and I had an assault charge. An assault is anything that puts you in apprehension of your own safety. So by comparison, Pelosi, AOC, Vice President Pence, outgoing Vice President Pence, all these people have been assaulted because they have been put in apprehension of their safety. Now, a battery, you hear somebody's charged with assault and battery. A battery is an unconsented touching. And it can be as little as I'm talking to you and I poke you with my finger. Now, if it's by accident and not willful, that's something else. So, what should the members of Congress be doing? They should be filing criminal charges against these people. But that's me. And I think that when you let bad acts pass without objection, without punishment, without coercion to do the right thing, you breed more of it. And we're at a difficult time in America when we have members of Congress getting, wearing Kevlar and vests and, packing guns and stuff like that. And we have had violence on the floor of our greatest deliberative body during the Civil War. And it's not impossible to believe that it could happen now because we have so many of these gun nuts. And, Congress just hasn't dealt with this. And there are people who've been strong on this issue, and then there are others who have just sort of ducked the issue. So, two things. We're working on the virus, and we have to continue to work to make our Congress safe. You can't deliberate in a place where you're worried about the guy at the next table shooting at you or punching you or catching you on the way to your home at night. So have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Well, probably in the snow. Bye-bye.